users and friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Carla. I'm the Director of User Engagement at NeedyMeds. And today I'm going to explain how you can help your clients save on their healthcare expenses with NeedyMeds. Now, before I get started, I'd like to offer a few tips so you can make the most of the presentation. First of all, you can ask questions by any time by typing them into that questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. Just know we will reserve answering questions until the end. If I don't get the chance to answer your question, I will follow up with you by email, but I will, of course, also provide my contact information and the contact information for NeedyMeds. Please do check out that handout section in your GoToWebinar control panel for a copy of my PowerPoint slide deck, as well as other materials I thought you'd be interested in. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on the NeedyMeds YouTube channel, which I do hope you subscribe to. With today's presentation, I'm going to cover what NeedyMeds is. We'll talk about what are the healthcare savings we offer that can help your clients or patients afford or save money on their healthcare expenses. We'll talk about our drug discount card, which is another way you can help your clients or patients save money. We'll talk about other resources that we have that healthcare providers find useful, and I'll offer some easy ways to stay in touch with us and up to date on healthcare topics. So let's get started with what is NeedyMeds. We're a national nonprofit founded more than 2 decades ago by a retired family physician, Dr. Rich Sagel, and his friend, Libby Overly, who was a medical social worker. That's our mission statement, but simply put, NeedyMeds connects people to programs that will help them afford their healthcare expenses. And we do that free and anonymously through our helpline, 1-800-503-6897, and our website, NeedyMeds.org. So let's talk about how on NeedyMeds.org you can find all of our healthcare cost savings resources. So it's really easy. You go to NeedyMeds.org, and on the top left-hand side, you will see a tab titled Healthcare Savings. And when you click on that tab, a whole bunch of different categories will drop down, which are all ways you can help your clients save on their medications and other health costs, including patient assistance programs and our $4 generic drug discount programs. We have a free, low-cost, and sliding scale clinics category. Underneath that, you'll find our coupons, rebates, and more section. In the top middle, you can check out our diagnosis-based assistance program. Right underneath that is our COVID-19 Resource Center. You can also find assistance for your clients with their medical transportation costs in the section titled Assistance with Medical Transportation Costs. We also have listings of retreats, camps, recreational programs, and educational scholarships for people all across our country living with different diagnoses. So check that out too. Underneath that, you'll find our government programs section, and of course a link to the NeedyMeds drug discount card, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, I'd like to explain what each of these categories are and what savings they offer. So at the very top left, you'll find those prescription or patient assistance programs, which are usually supported by pharmaceutical companies and most of the time offer free and some of the time offer deeply discounted prescription drugs, usually name brand to those that qualify. If you're looking for helping your client afford a brand name drug, you'll want to begin your search here because these programs do offer the most savings. On that top left, under that Healthcare Savings tab, you'll also find our $4 generic discount drug program, which is a great resource for finding generic medications for a discounted price. You may even help your client to find a prescription at a price lower than their insurance company, so it's worth checking out. If your client is in need of affordable primary or preventive care, you can search our free low cost, or sliding scale clinic section for convenient locations for medical, dental, mental health, or substance abuse clinics. There are more than 18,000 clinics nationwide in this category. Underneath that, you'll find our coupons, rebates, and more section, which will connect you to discounted over the counter drugs, prescription meds, and medical supplies just with the quick click of your mouse. Now, for help with those expenses related to specific conditions or diagnoses, you're going to go ahead and want to visit the Diagnosis Based Assistance Program section, which was in the top middle. Now, for the most part, this section does not include cost savings for medicines. What it does include instead are other medical expenses, such as help for other medical expenses, such as durable medical equipment. Maybe your client needs some money to take time off for respite care. Maybe they need living expenses while receiving treatment. They need to purchase testing supplies. They need help getting a service animal. Basically, any healthcare related expense that isn't a medication, you'd want to check out this section. And as you can tell by the examples I gave, the programs vary greatly in the savings they provide for different expenses. Now, if the patients or clients you're working with have been impacted by the pandemic, like so many, visit that COVID-19 Resource Center, which is full of programs for those experiencing financial hardships and still struggling with healthcare expenses due to COVID-19. Now, oftentimes we've heard from NeedyMed users that getting to and from a doctor or specialized facility can cause a financial burden. So look for a program that can help your client afford medically related transportation expenses under that medical transportation cost assistance section. As I mentioned, we do have categories that provide camps, retreats, recreational programs, and educational scholarships for people of all ages all across the country living with specific diagnoses or caring for someone living with a specific diagnosis. That government program section on the bottom right under that healthcare savings tab is another important destination to search for government-funded healthcare programs in your client's region. Now is a good time to remind you, because this is a lot of information, to go ahead and submit any questions you may have into that questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel, and I will get to as many questions as I can at the end of the presentation. So let's talk about another important way you can help your clients save on healthcare expenses, which is with the NeedyMeds drug discount card. The NeedyMeds drug discount card, which offers those not using insurance a way to lower their price of prescriptions, is like other drug discount cards out there. The user simply takes the card to the pharmacy, matches it with the prescription, and saves. And the card can come in a plastic form, like a credit card. That's an example on your screen. It can also be a paper version, which you would print out from our website and just clip out the drug discount card image. And you can also download the NeedyMeds drug discount card for free as a phone app through Google Play or the iTunes App Store. Now, we know that there are other drug discount cards out there, but we want to share with you that the NeedyMeds drug discount card is free and anonymous. We do not track your client's personal data, so you can let them know that confidentiality is guaranteed. There is no registration, no enrollment, there are no residency requirements, and the card does not need to be activated. The NeedyMeds drug discount card is accepted at more than 65,000 pharmacies nationwide. The drug discount card can be used to save up to 80% off the cash price of prescription meds. It can be used to save on over-the-counter medications and supplies written as prescriptions. And the drug discount card can even be used to save on human equivalent pet meds purchased at a regular pharmacy. You can also use our drug discount card to save 40% off medical equipment. So the big question is, who can use the card? And the simple answer is anyone. The only rule is it cannot be combined with insurance. So If your client is uninsured, they can use the card anytime. If they do have insurance, they may choose to use the card instead. And they may do this if they find, for example, that their medication isn't covered under insurance. Maybe they find themselves in a coverage gap. Maybe they have a high copayment or a high deductible, or maybe they've exceeded a cap for drug coverage for the year. So let me show you now how you can get drug discount cards and how you can find the tools that will help your patients and clients maximize savings with the drug discount card. So you go to NeedyMeds.org, and you may remember that there is a link to our drug discount page on the bottom right under that Healthcare Savings tab. But you can also click on the box with the red arrow on the left-hand side of the page reading Get Your NeedyMeds Drug Discount Card. Both of these links will take you to this page, the NeedyMeds Drug Discount Card page, where you can print out a downloadable PDF. You can download the app for free from Google Play or the iTunes App Store. You can complete a form, and you'll be able to choose a design, so we can mail you a plastic drug discount card, or you can mail us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and you'll find our address at the bottom of our website. Of course, you can always reach out to our call center counselors, and they will drop one or a bunch in the mail for you, or your client or patient if they call us directly. Now, at the bottom of the NeedyMeds Drug Discount Card page, if you scroll down, you will find the helpful pharmacy search. You simply type in your zip code to see what pharmacies in your patient or client's area accept the NeedyMeds Drug Discount Card. And another helpful tool can be found at the very bottom of this page, which is the drug pricing calculator. This is where you can find out how much the drug will cost using the NeedyMeds Drug Discount Card at an accepting pharmacy. The idea is that your client will have the drug discount card, know what pharmacies in their area accept it, and know how much their medication will cost them using it before they head out the door. And again, don't hesitate to call our call center counselors directly or have your clients or patients do the same. Our call center experts can do this work for you over the phone. So let's move on, because I really wanted to take a moment to point out other helpful resources that we offer for healthcare providers. And as you can see, there's quite a list. The easiest is to simply be aware of NeedyMeds and direct your clients to our website or helpline. If you have other colleagues interested in learning about NeedyMeds and the resources we offer, and you would like to get a group together, I would be happy to conduct a future training or customized webinar at a convenient time for you and your team. We encourage you to register for and share our upcoming webinars, which can be found on the bottom right of our homepage on our calendar of events. Now, next to that healthcare tab that we spend so much time on, you will find an education tab. And that's where you can receive monthly you can sign up, to receive our monthly e-newsletter Vitals. You can sign up to receive our monthly webinar announcements. And I'm going to actually show you what's under this education tab in just a bit. So what else did I want to mention? Oh, don't forget that we can not only provide you with an unlimited amount of our drug discount cards and educational materials, but you can also have us create for you a customized drug discount card with your business's name and logo free of charge. Always feel free to add NeedyMeds as a resource on your website or any of your printed materials. We're also happy to cross-share events, hyperlinks, information on social media platforms, and also populate our calendar of events with any free educational events you have coming up. We also offer a program called PapShare, which allows you to incorporate information on those patient assistance programs directly onto your website for free. I also want to mention Pap Tracker, which is a software we created that eliminates the administrative burden of manually submitting and tracking patient assistance program applications, and you can also license more of our data. That means that in addition to those patient assistance programs, you can include all of those other healthcare cost savings resources that you can find under that healthcare savings tab on our website. You can incorporate all of that onto your website as well. Now, you'll notice that Path Tracker and licensing our data does have an asterisk. That's because those two provider resources do, there is a fee involved for those. So just keep that in mind. I also want to point out that we do have other websites that I think you'll find helpful. You can go to findcare.org, type in a zip code, and find affordable clinics near your client or patient's home. SafeNeedleDisposal.org is a site dedicated to the safe disposal of home-generated used sharps or needles. On bmedwise.org, you can find accurate, up-to-date, and useful information on the safe and appropriate use of meds, the safe storage of meds, and the safe disposal of unused meds. So let's go ahead and move right into talking about ways that you can stay in touch with us. And I do see some of those questions coming in, which is great. So for those of you that do have questions, reminder that you can go ahead and type them into that questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. Now, on the very top right of NeedyMeds.org, you will see a bunch of icons. That's where you can find our links to Facebook and Twitter. You can find an icon next to those for the NeedyMeds YouTube channel. And I do encourage you to subscribe to that. That way you'll be notified when new webinars, presentations, or videos are added, and you won't ever have to miss out. You can also find NeedyMeds on LinkedIn. I also suggest subscribing to our blog, the NeedyMeds Voice. We have a really talented editor that puts together very timely, provocative pieces on healthcare-related topics. And you can also find us on Pinterest and Instagram. Now let's talk about that that education tab, which is right next to that healthcare savings tab. And as you can see, if you click on that education tab, that's the drop-down menu that will appear. Here is where you can find things such as under resources for you, our subscription services, where you can order print materials such as our drug discount cards and brochures, and sign up for email alerts about program changes. In the middle, you can sign up for upcoming webinars, our monthly e-newsletter Vitals, and learn about becoming a NeedyMeds volunteer ambassador. Under Partner with NeedyMeds, you can learn about having us create one of those customized drug discount cards that I mentioned earlier. And you can also read our partnership brochure to see other suggestions about ways you may want to partner with NeedyMeds. Now I'm going to take some time to get to the questions that are coming in, and there's another reminder that you can submit those questions into the questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. And as I get to those questions, I want to leave out contact information up as promised. If you would like to receive a bulk supply of NeedyMeds drug discount cards and our most popular brochures, you can drop an email to my friend and colleague Alana at alana@needymeds.org. If you do have any questions about this webinar, what we covered, or you're interested in partnering with NeedyMeds, don't hesitate to drop me an email at carla@needymeds.org. As you can see, it's Carla with a C. On the bottom left-hand side is our helpline phone number, 1-800-503-6897. Our expert call center counselors are here to help weekdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we do have Spanish-speaking counselors. And, of course, the NeedyMeds website, which is needymeds.org. I hope you not only take some time to familiarize yourself with that website, but to check it out further because there's a ton of resources we didn't have the chance to cover. I also want to stress that we are updating programs all the time, adding new programs all the time, so it's worth regularly checking out, especially because sometimes you may have a client or patient that is looking for help affording a particular medication or healthcare cost, and we were not able to connect you with a program right now, but we may have added a program in the future. So it's worth always checking out. So let's go ahead and get to those questions coming in. How does NeedyMeds support itself? So we get that question a lot, and I can tell you that NeedyMeds relies on about 6 different sources of financial support. First of all, we are a nonprofit, so we do rely on corporate and individual donations as well as grants. We do license fees for organizations to use our databases, and you may remember I pointed that out in that slide that covered additional provider resources. Another thing that we covered in that additional provider resources slide is PAP Tracker. That is something that we sell, and again, that's a software that helps businesses, clinics, organizations, providers simplify the patient assistance program application process by eliminating the administrative burden of manually submitting and tracking patient assistance program applications. We do get a small transaction fee on every use of the free NeedyMeds drug discount card. We do have thoroughly reviewed supporting partners on our website, and we do get fees from pharmaceutical companies for call center and application processing services. You can find all of this information on our website as well, and that's located on NeedyMeds.org. On the very top of our website, you'll see an About Us link. When you click on that, it'll bring you to a page where you'll see another link for NeedyMeds' mission. On that page, you'll see our mission statement, a statement about how we achieve our mission, and our vision statement. And you will also find these sources of financial support. Thanks for the question. Another question coming in. You mentioned you can use the drug discount card to save on pet meds. How? Thanks so much, because it gives me an opportunity to let you know that we put together a less than 10-minute video on how to use the NeedyMeds drug discount card to save on your pet meds. You simply go to the NeedyMeds YouTube channel, and again, you can find a link to that on the top right of NeedyMeds.org with the rest of the social media icons. And once you get to the NeedyMeds YouTube channel, you can type the word pets into the search bar. Thank you for the question. The next question coming in. Can people with Medicare Part D apply to patient assistance programs? So the answer is it depends on the company or the organization providing that patient assistance program. Some will let Medicare Part D beneficiaries apply. Others will determine that on a case-by-case basis. The great news is that you will see the answer to that in the eligibility section of the patient assistance program listing on our website. Don't hesitate, though, if you have difficulty finding it or have any questions, to reach out to NeedyMeds. Now, if you do have specific questions about a patient assistance program and you're on the patient assistance program page, the very top of that page, you will see the phone number to that patient assistance program, and you could reach out to them directly regarding any questions you may have about that program. They're there to help as well. So another question that came in, what time is the NeedyMeds call center open? Again, great question. NeedyMeds expert call center counselors are available 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but keep in mind we're located in Massachusetts, so that's East Coast time. Again, that phone number is 1-800-503-6897, and I want to mention we do have Spanish-speaking counselors. So I do try to keep the question segment relatively brief. So if you did submit a question and I didn't get a chance to answer it, I will follow up with you by email, but you can always reach out to our call center counselor if you need an answer immediately. With that, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit more about NeedyMeds and how we can help your patients and clients afford their healthcare expenses. Thanks so much, and please do stay in touch.